Hello and welcome back. If you're new, thank you for joining. My name is Megan. I have 3 small kids. I stay at home, I work, I do a mix of a lot of things, and just trying to find my identity has been a very hard process. But what we are starting now is a decluttering, simplifying, not minimal. I think it is nearly impossible to go minimal with 3 small kids, but we live in a small house, like 1,200 square feet, and my anxiety is at an all-time high. I am medicated, but I don't want to be over-medicated, so I am using this time to kind of declutter the house and try to heal my anxiety in that way. So I am coming at you with some good tips for decluttering kids' toys, because this is an area of my house that I really struggle with. I have 3 kids of 2 different ages because I have twins, and I really struggle with what do I keep, what do I pass along, and I just want to share some tips that have really helped me. So the first tip when I declutter is to start small. There is no need, especially if you store your toys in different areas in your house, bedrooms, living room, there's no need to get all the toys out to declutter. It is not going to work. So I'm going to start with just the living room. That is the space that I see every day. That is the space that I am in. That is the space that's giving me anxiety, and I'm going to start there. The first thing I'm going to do is you're going to get all your stuff and you're going to throw away anything that has missing pieces, anything small, McDonald's toys, all the little like things like that, you're just going to get rid of. Then I bring a bin. So I think it's a really good idea to have a couple bins. I have a bin of stuff that goes up to my twins' room, a bin of stuff that goes into my other daughter's room, and then a bin of like get rid of. And my get rid of bin, what I do with that, which is another good tip, is I put it in the basement, or you can put it in a closet for a determined amount of time, however long you want, and I wait to see if my kids ask for those toys. If they don't ask for those toys, they then get donated. My third tip is to instantly declutter anything your kids have aged out of. Don't be afraid to get rid of aged out of toys. I am not I'm going to keep this for my grandkids. What really put it in perspective is my parents kept a lot of our toys and books, and then recently, unfortunately, their house burnt down. All of it was gone. So they toted that stuff around for years for only to be gone. And what are the chances that your house is going to burn down? Probably slim, but it just kind of put it in perspective that do I want to keep this stuff in bins and like tote it around for years when potentially it could not be there anyway. So I am not a keeper of toys. I am in the mindset of pass them along to another kid that will use them right now. That's kind of a personal perspective. The next thing you're going to do is make sure you take out all your child's favorites. So you're going to be paying attention to what they play with and what they don't, and you're going to put aside their favorites and work on the stuff that they don't play with a ton and see how you feel about it. Every item you're going to ask yourself, am I attached to this or is my child? Because it took me a long time to realize that I am attached to some of these toys, and I'm like, oh, I bought them because I like them for a certain reason. A lot of times the truth is you're attached to it way more than your child is, and you care about the toy way more than your child. So that's something you have to think about. You have to think about if another child will enjoy this toy more than your child. The next thing you have to think about or remember, and this took me a long time too, is that these are sunk costs. So a sunk cost is something that you already spent money on. It's done. It's gone. You have to decide what you want to do with your toys at that point. You can't think about I'm wasting money, because toys are things that kids go through. And that is age appropriate and normal for your child to go through a phase in a toy, outgrow it, move on to another toy. Sometimes I will take them to a local consignment shop, but because I'm not thinking that I need to get like the max amount, I'm okay with whatever I get. Oftentimes I just donate on my buy nothing site. So that's totally a personal preference, but you cannot expect to get out of a toy what you put into it. That's just not how toys work. Toys are extremely depreciated. You can spend $100 on a toy, try to sell it for half price, and no one's gonna buy it. So that is something you just have to get over. So now you've kind of gone through your toys. We're going to declutter the toys. You cannot organize toys until you declutter. You have to declutter before you can organize. I have tried a million times to organize a million different ways, and when there's too much, you just can't do it. So now that we've decluttered, we're going to organize. Here is my best recommendations for organizing. Shallow or see-through bins. I have done the whole canvas bins. Your child cannot see them. They're not going to play with them. Even the taller bins they're not going to play with. Try to make the shallow bins so they can see right in on their shelf what their toys are. Don't overfill them. I've made that mistake too. The only bin that we have that is pretty overfull is Paw Patrol. But I try to stick with one category per bin and not overflow it so they can actually see what's in there. They can grab the bin easily and they can play with it. The other thing that you can consider is a toy rotation. If you have a lot of toys, you can put some toys in your basement or away and rotate them out. This has never worked for me. I have bins downstairs that say toy rotation. It has never worked for me. I will not bring them up. I am not a toy rotation person. I want to be, so I just have to focus on the toys that are in my house and think about it that way. My last tip for organizing toys once you've decluttered is put your games and anything that's messy. I do like kinetic sand, like things I don't want my kids to play with without me knowing, on higher shelves, and the more independent toys on lower shelves. Remember, if your anxiety is high, your kids' anxiety is high. If you're overwhelmed, your kids are overwhelmed. If your kids are not playing with toys and they're just complaining to you that you're bored, it is probably time to go through toys and declutter, because their little minds cannot take all the toys. They don't know what to do with them. So this is what we look like before. This is, it may seem organized, but it's nearly impossible because it's just overrun with stuff. We're gonna fix that today.
Don't worry, Mommy, I'll get those.
We have too much junk. That's not helpful. Keeping the stuff is not helpful. Okay?
What?
Okay, just a minute, please.
You're good at organizing, Mom.
Haley, I can be in charge. We have like a million Lego sets. We're gonna try to see if we can figure this out.
So much Lego sets!
Pick a Lego then, honey.
Do you know where my camera is, Mom?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't want to.
Into your room. That bucket goes into your room. Why? Did you pee in those? Uh-oh. Whoopsie.
Let me see if I can hold it. I was actually holding it with my first finger.
finished with the corner. So this is kind of what I did. We actually still have one clear that we're unsure what we're gonna do with yet. I'm gonna just kind of see what happens. Okay. I have put games that I can reach. This is stickers and stuff that I can reach for them. Games, blocks, Legos, Peppa Pig, everything that they can reach. Can walk in the corner and we'll see how it does. Just remember, decluttering is a process. Decluttering toys is especially a process, especially if your kids are home with you and they struggle to let go of things. I took a bunch of bins downstairs. We're gonna let that stuff sit, see what happens. I do need to make a run to like the local consignment shop, so I will go through before that and kind of see what needs to go, but it's a process and it's never gonna be perfect and you're gonna constantly be decluttering your kids' toys, so good luck.